A York police officer shot and killed a dog here on this street last week. The DA now with an initial report. We'll tell you what he's saying.
Governor Shapiro's data center plan faces a critical vote in the House. What he is planning to help guide their development.
Taking old, dilapidated buildings, turning them into productive, useful places where people can live, work, and play.
A new 81-unit apartment complex coming to York City. We'll tell you how the old Dent Supply building is getting a new lease on life and what local leaders have to say about it.
An ad on social media gets your attention, but before you reach for your credit card, stop. I'll tell you why you could be walking into a scam.
WGAL News 8 at 6 starts now.
Live tonight, more housing coming to York, but we begin with the York County District Attorney's initial findings after an officer shot a dog while responding to a call last week. Good evening. I'm Lori Burkholder.
And I'm Brian Roach. The York County DA's investigation gives us new information about what happened before the dog and its owner were shot.
As Nicole Beltran explains, the DA says the officer's actions were justified.
That shooting is still under investigation, but the district attorney's office tells us body camera footage and cell phone footage shows the dog charging at the officer and the officer shooting him in self-defense. I had the chance to speak with some neighbors who tell me they wonder if an alternative solution was possible.
Sympathetic. I mean, it's not the dog's fault.
A report from the district attorney's office says the officer shot the dog out of self-defense after the dog chased him and was, quote, growling and snarling and showing teeth. The dog's owner was also shot and taken to York Hospital. The district attorney's office claiming that shot was also, quote, accidental.
I seen it when I came out. They had a tourniquet on his leg. He got shot here, and it came out here or here, and he got grazed on his knee. I guess he was chasing the dog.
Neighbors believe there were alternatives to ending the animal's life, but that self-defense is necessary.
They could have used something that would have stunned it, but not killed it, you know what I mean?
Continuously tasing the dog would have probably killed it as well. Like I said, unfortunate circumstances for both parties.
As of right now, no names of the people involved in the shooting will be released. State police are still investigating. In York, I'm Nicole Beltran, WGAL News 8.
A retired police officer who teaches law enforcement around the country on how to approach situations with dogs while answering calls says the biggest thing that he teaches is de-escalation. He says that can be as simple as your body posture.
If you're the dog and I'm facing you directly and stare at you, that's a threat. If I come up and kind of turn myself to the side and look off, that is a doggy signal that, hey, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to fight. Simple things like understanding where you're looking and how you're moving and so forth, all can decrease effectively the likelihood of an encounter going bad.
Crosby also says he teaches officers how to use tasers and pepper spray, which he says is highly effective with dogs.
New information tonight about what happened before a 15-year-old was shot and killed in York's Penn Park last month. According to court documents, 17-year-old Kayvon Shue and 15-year-old Troy Brown Jr. were passengers in a car, and investigators say both were firing multiple shots toward Daquan Harris and other people at the basketball court. Officers found 19 spent casings. The documents also say there was a group chat on social media involving people representing rival gangs, and there were insults and threats in that chat. Investigators say Harris was associated with Southside and Brown and Shue associated with Parkway. Police are still looking for Shue. Brown was arrested on May 27th. After the shooting, York police did increase camera surveillance in Penn Park. You can see the cameras in this AirView 8 video. Investigators say cameras helped identify the people involved in Harris's death. The new camera system has a 360-degree view and moves once it detects movement in the area.
York police also looking for help to identify this man. Police say there was a fight that led to a stabbing on West Gas Avenue on December 20th of 2024. They say he is known as Cisco. New at 6, state police say someone robbed a fireworks stand in Adams County with a mini crossbow. This robbery happened around 9:30 last night at Keystone Fireworks of Gettysburg on Emmitsburg Road in Freedom Township. State police say this person came into the store, tried to get to the safe, and when they couldn't get to the safe, the person showed the mini crossbow and demanded that the manager open the safe. The person got money and left in this car right here.
Well, Governor Shapiro's data center proposal has passed a critical vote with bipartisan approval in the State House.
8 on your side, political reporter Tom Lehman joins us live from the state capitol on how the governor is trying to better regulate those projects. Tom?
Yeah, Brian and Lori, the governor, through his administration, was already offering some regulatory fast tracking for projects that met certain criteria, like bringing their own power source and paying for the cost to connect to the grid. But he's asking lawmakers to help rewrite a sales tax exemption so that only certain projects will be eligible for it if they meet the standards he wants them to meet.
What do our local communities get, or what can they control?
Representative Joe Webster says right now data center builders don't have a lot of incentive to address environmental concerns or how their projects could affect electricity demand and potentially raise power bills. He's backing the governor's proposal to offer an exemption on sales tax for data center and computer parts and components for projects that meet certain criteria. He says it could protect many communities.
They're going to be able to protect their water. They're going to have the community benefit agreement, the noise, and the kinds of things that everybody's worried about. Get some controls and attention for the local community to be able to put that in perspective.
We're trying to bribe these guys. Get real.
Some Republicans voted against the proposal, saying many data centers that already have the land and zoning they may need may not be swayed by the governor's plan. One Republican who voted yes on the proposal said there needs to be tight regulations on data center projects, but he also acknowledged some builders may not be swayed by the governor's plan.
I fear most of these hyperscalers are just going to come in and say, we don't care about the 6%, we're going to do what we want anyways, which leaves the communities in a bad place.
Back here at the state capitol, the organizations Better Path Coalition and No False Climate Solutions PA, who were here yesterday, essentially asking for a moratorium on major data center projects, claim Shapiro's plan was developed without community input. And they said that the public, quote, sees through his attempt to manufacture consent. Now, the legislature could potentially take this up over in the Senate, especially as budget negotiations continue. We'll continue to follow developments as they become available on this proposal. Here in Harrisburg, Tom Lehman, WGAL News 8.